Stop. Before you take one more step toward that Chase branch, I need you to watch this video, because in the next few minutes, I am going to show you exactly what Chase Bank does not want you to figure out on your own. Hidden fees, silent charges, money leaving your account every single month while you are busy trying to build your life in a brand new country. And the worst part? Most immigrants and international students never find out until hundreds of dollars are already gone. So if you just moved to the United States, or you are a student trying to get your finances right in this country, stay with me. This video could be the most important financial decision you make in your first year in America. Now let me ask you something. When you heard the name Chase Bank, what came to your mind? Probably something big, something safe, something trustworthy, and you are not wrong. Chase is the largest bank in the United States. It has thousands of branches, a clean app, and a name that sounds solid. So it makes perfect sense that when immigrants arrive in this country, the first thing people tell them is, go open a Chase account. Friends say it, community groups say it. You see the branches everywhere and you think, okay, this must be the right choice. But here is what nobody tells you. Chase Bank was not designed for people who are just starting out. It was designed for people who already have steady income, already have money sitting in their accounts, and already understand how the American banking system works. And if that is not you right now, if you are still finding your footing in this country, then Chase's system is quietly, automatically working against you. Not because they are criminals, not because they are trying to personally hurt you, but because their fee structure, their savings rates, and their international transfer costs were all built for a completely different customer than you. And until you understand that clearly, you are going to keep losing money without even knowing why. So let me break this down for you completely, step by step, in plain, simple language. No confusing financial terms, no banker talk. Just the truth, the way a trusted friend who knows this system would explain it to you. Let us start from the very beginning. When you arrive in the United States, one of the first things you need is a bank account. And this is not just about having a place to keep your money. In America, your bank account is connected to almost everything. It is connected to your credit score, which determines whether you can rent an apartment, get approved for a phone plan, qualify for a loan, or even pass a background check for certain jobs. Your bank account is basically the starting point of your entire financial life in this country. So choosing the right bank and understanding how it works is not a small decision. It is one of the most important financial moves you will make when you first arrive. Now, the most common account people open at Chase is called the Chase Total Checking Account. It sounds straightforward. You walk in, you show your documents, you open the account, and you think you are set. But here is what most people do not notice until it is too late. As of August 2025, Chase raised its monthly service fee on this account to $15. $15 every single month. That is $180 every year, just to keep a basic checking account open. And this fee does not come with a warning. It does not come with a reminder phone call. It just quietly leaves your account on the same day every month, month after month, while you are focused on everything else you are trying to handle in a new country. Now, Chase does offer 3 ways to waive this fee, but here is where it gets frustrating. All 3 of those ways assume that you already have financial stability in America. The first way to avoid the fee is to have at least $500 in direct deposits coming into your Chase account every month. That means your employer must be directly depositing your paycheck into Chase. But if you just arrived and you do not have a job yet, or you are paid in cash, or your employer uses a different system, this option simply does not work for you. The second way is to maintain a minimum daily balance of $1,500 in your account at all times. Every single day, your balance must stay above $1,500. If it drops even $1 below that, even for just one day, you get charged the full $15 fee for that month. For a new immigrant or a student who is managing every dollar carefully, keeping $1,500 permanently frozen in a bank account is just not realistic. The third option involves linking a Chase savings account and maintaining a certain balance there. But once again, this requires you to already have extra money that you are not using. Do you see the problem? Every single option to avoid this fee requires you to already be financially stable. But you are here precisely because you are still building that stability. So until you reach those thresholds, you pay $15 every month, silently, automatically, without anyone reminding you. And while we are talking about your money sitting in Chase, let us talk about what they are doing with it, or more accurately, what they are not doing for you. Chase offers a savings account where your money earns interest at a rate of 0.01% per year. Let me help you understand how small that actually is. If you keep $1,000 in a Chase savings account for an entire year, you will earn exactly 10 cents. Not $10, 10 cents. Meanwhile, right now in America, there are fully safe, federally insured online banks that are offering interest rates of 4 to 5% on savings accounts. That same $1,000 sitting in one of those accounts for a year would earn you $40 to $50. The difference between 10 cents and $50 might sound small on $1,000, but scale that up to $5,000 or $10,000, and you start to see how much money is being left on the table every single year simply because nobody told you there was a better option. Now let us get to the part that I know matters most to a lot of you, sending money back home. Whether you are supporting your family, paying for something back in your home country, or just moving money internationally, this is something many immigrants and students do regularly. And this is honestly where Chase quietly takes the most money from people who do not know how the system works. Chase charges a wire transfer fee of $40 to $50 every time you send money internationally. That is the fee they show you openly. But there is a second charge that is much harder to see, and in many cases, it is actually larger than the first one. It is called the foreign exchange markup. Here's how it works. When Chase converts your US dollars into another currency, they do not give you the real exchange rate. They give you a slightly worse rate, and that difference between the real rate and the rate they give you goes directly into the bank's pocket as profit. When you add the wire fee and the foreign exchange markup together, sending $500 home through Chase can cost you $60 to $75 in total, every single time. Now compare that to services like Wise or Remitly. These are not random apps from the internet. They are regulated, legitimate financial services used by millions of people around the world. And they will send that same $500 home for under $10 total, sometimes even less depending on the country. That is a saving of $60 or more every single time you send money. If you send money home just once a month, you are looking at saving over $700 every year, just by using the right service. The money does not disappear. It just goes to the bank instead of your family. And now that you know, you can stop that from happening. Now let us talk about what you actually need to open a Chase account, because this is where a lot of people get confused, or worse, get rejected and do not understand why. To open a Chase account as a non-US citizen, you generally need a few things. You need a valid government photo ID, which can be your passport. You need either a social security number, called an SSN, or an individual taxpayer identification number, called an ITIN. You will also need proof of your current US address. This can be a lease agreement, a utility bill, or in some cases a bank statement, and you need to pass something called a check systems check. Now, most people have never heard of check systems. It is not a credit check. It is a separate banking database that tracks your history with bank accounts, things like unpaid fees, bounced checks, or accounts that were closed due to problems. If you have any negative marks in check systems, even from years ago at a different bank, Chase may reject your application. This is one of the most common reasons people get rejected even when they have all their documents ready. They simply did not know this system existed. Now about the ITIN situation, this is very important. Chase officially accepts ITINs at their branches. That is their stated policy. But in real life, the experience is inconsistent. Some Chase agents are well trained and will process your account smoothly. Others have never done it before and may incorrectly tell you that Chase does not accept ITINs. This happens more often than it should. So if you are planning to use an ITIN, do not just walk into a branch and hope for the best. Call the branch first. Ask them directly, do you open accounts for customers using an ITIN? That one phone call will protect you from a frustrating and unnecessary experience. Now I want to talk about the credit score system because this is something every single immigrant and student in America needs to understand as early as possible, and most people learn it too late. Your credit score is a number between 300 and 850. The higher the number, the better. It tells banks, landlords, phone companies, and lenders how trustworthy you are financially. When you first arrive in the United States, you have no credit score. You are invisible to the system. This is called having no credit history, and it creates a frustrating situation where you cannot get a credit card without a credit history, and you cannot build a credit history without a credit card. It feels like a wall, but there is a door through that wall, and it is called a secured credit card. Here is how a secured credit card works in the simplest possible terms. You give the bank a deposit, let us say $300. That deposit becomes your credit limit. You use the card for small, everyday purchases, maybe groceries, maybe your phone bill. Then, every single month, you pay the full balance before the due date. The bank reports your behavior to the 3 major credit bureaus in America, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. And slowly, month by month, your credit score begins to build. After 6 to 12 months of doing this correctly and consistently, You will have a real measurable credit score. And once you have that score, doors start opening. Better credit cards, lower interest rates on loans, easier apartment approvals. The key is to start as early as possible. Every month you wait is a month of credit history you can never get back. Now let me walk you through the most common mistakes I see immigrants and students make, and exactly how to avoid each one. The first mistake is keeping all your savings at Chase and earning almost nothing on them. Many people assume that all their money needs to stay at one bank. That is simply not true. You can have a Chase checking account for everyday transactions and direct deposits, and at the same time have a high-yield savings account at a completely different bank, earning 4 to 5% interest, completely legally, completely safely. This is called using multiple financial institutions, and financially smart people in America do it all the time. Your money should be working for you while it sits there. Right now at Chase, it is not. The second mistake is not noticing the monthly fee until it has already been charged many times. Chase does not warn you. It does not send you a reminder. The $15 fee comes out automatically on the same date every month. If you are not checking your account regularly, you will not even realize it is happening. Make a habit of reviewing your account at least once a week. Know exactly what is going in and what is coming out. The third mistake is using Chase for international money transfers just because it feels convenient. That convenience is costing you $60 or more every single time. Open an account on Wise or Remitly today. It takes about 15 minutes. Compare the rates yourself before your next transfer. You will never go back to bank wire transfers after you see the difference. The fourth mistake is waiting too long to start building credit. People think, I will focus on credit later, once I am more settled. But the credit system in America rewards time above almost everything else. The longer your positive credit history, the stronger your score becomes. There is no shortcut for time. Every month you delay is a month of history lost. Start now, even if you start with a very small secured card. The fifth mistake is walking into a Chase branch with an ITIN without calling ahead. One unprepared agent can turn you away and make you feel like you do not qualify, when in fact you do. One phone call before your visit protects you from that experience. Now let me share some expert-level insights that most people in your situation never hear. First, Chase has a rule called the 524 rule that applies to their credit cards. This means that if you have opened 5 or more credit cards in the past 24 months, at any bank, not just Chase, Chase will automatically reject your credit card application. It does not matter how good your credit score is. So if your long-term plan includes getting a Chase credit card, be very strategic about how many cards you open in your first 2 years in this country. Second, when you open a Chase checking account, do not apply for a Chase credit card during that same visit, even if the agent offers it to you on the spot. Applying for multiple products at once creates multiple credit inquiries on your file, which can temporarily lower your score. Open the checking account, let things settle for a few months, then apply for the card separately. Third, and this is something very few people tell new arrivals, credit unions are often a far better starting point than big banks. A credit union is a not-for-profit financial institution. They have lower fees, more flexible requirements for people with no credit history, and better interest rates on loans. Many cities across America have credit unions that specifically serve immigrant communities. It is absolutely worth spending 30 minutes researching whether there is one near you before you make any decision about where to bank. Fourth, do not close your first bank account even after you open a better one. The length of your banking and credit history matters. Closing accounts can sometimes shorten your financial history and slightly impact your credit score. Keep old accounts open if they have no fees, even if you rarely use them. And fifth, if Chase rejects your application, do not take it personally and do not give up. Ask them exactly why you were rejected. Was it check systems? Was it documentation? Was it the ITIN issue? Understanding the exact reason gives you the power to fix it. And in the meantime, there are second chance checking accounts at other banks and credit unions that are specifically designed for people who are rebuilding or just starting out. So here is what I want you to do right now, today, before this video ends. Number 1, check whether you actually qualify to waive the Chase $15 monthly fee. Be honest with yourself. If you do not qualify right now, look into free checking account options at online banks or credit unions with no minimum balance requirements. Number 2, if you send money internationally, sign up for Wise or Remitly this week, not next month, this week. Compare the transfer cost yourself and see exactly how much you have been overpaying. Number 3, if you do not yet have a credit card, apply for a secured credit card and start building your credit history immediately. 6 months from now, your future self will thank you. Number 4, Move your savings, or at least most of your savings, to a high-yield savings account where your money can actually grow. 4 to 5% interest is available to you right now. There is no reason your money should be earning 10 cents a year. You came to this country with a dream. You are working hard. You are figuring out a completely new system while managing everything else life is throwing at you. The last thing you need is a bank quietly taking from you every single month. Now you know how the system works. Now you know what to look out for. Use that knowledge, protect your money, and please, share this video with someone you know who just arrived here, or who is about to open their first bank account in America, because they need to hear this too. And I will see you in the next video.